Hey YouTube, it's Susie's on the scene. It's Tuesday. Y'all know what? I think I've decided that I dislike Tuesdays more than I dislike Monday. And that's strange, but that's the real. What's on my mind today? Like I mentioned yesterday, I'm still on the dating scene. Anyway, there's this guy that lives in DC, Virginia, whatever. They found me some kind of magical way on Facebook. Because when he first sent me a friend request, because a lot of times when people send me a friend request, I just accept them because I figure they know me from somewhere. Now, if I don't recognize the name, you know, as far as being a co-worker or somebody I went to school with or whatever, I figure maybe they know me from YouTube or Twitter or some other social media site, and so I just accept it, you know. I think he was my friend for a while meaning a couple of weeks to a month or so before he actually said something to me. And the picture that I posted, my before and after picture when I had on the dress and I was showing, you know, my weight loss and then how my body has changed and stuff like that, that's what made him say something to me. And, you know, he was talking about how beautiful I am, and I guess he had been looking through all my pictures, and because he was commenting on, you know, stuff that I posted, heck, some of them back in 2010, you know. He just looking through all of it. And, you know, we've been talking back and forth, whatever. He's actually, 56 years old. Now, I've dated older guys before. So there's not really an issue with me. My issue is that, like I mentioned before, he's in DC, Virginia, Maryland area. I think when it shows on his when he posts stuff, it says somewhere in Virginia. So he in the DC area. So that's what kind of makes me like dude, you stay too far away for me to even figure out if you crazy or not, even though I kind of know now that he crazy. And I told him that you would never meet my son. I said, other than Elliot, only guys that have been around my son are guys that I've known for 10 or 20 years. I said, so you, the way you acting now, the way you talking now, you would never meet my son. I know who to introduce my child and who not to. He is definitely one of them. He might be a good guy for me, but he's not no good guy for no child. You know, and that's been my issue. My issue has been, I may find guys that are crazy about me, but they are not ready to take on the daddy role. And on that other side, I meet guys that want to be my son's godfather or mentor or what have you, but they're not into me like that. And so I'm really wishing, hoping and wishing and praying that I get someone that's crazy about the both of us, that wants to be in both of our lives. You know what I'm saying? But it's kind of hard to find. You know, it's not that I'm just really looking that hard, you know what I'm saying? because, you know, Elliot, he was right there. Because I had to deal with him anyway because of work and stuff. And then with this guy in DC, you know, he found me. And, you know, so it's not that I'm just out there looking, you know, like, look at me, I'm cute, look at me, I got this, I got that, and I work here and I work there, and I do this and I do that, you know. I'm not just out there like that. Probably need to be, but I'm not. But, you know, like I've mentioned in some of my videos on my other channel, you know, as far as me dating and stuff, I have a history of dating terrible people. I ain't gonna say they was terrible. They was good for me. At that time, I learned from them. You know, I learned positive stuff from them. I learned negative stuff from them. I learned what not to do. You know, learn what not to do. Learn what I don't like and what I won't accept. So it wasn't like it was just a waste of time, because I got something out of it. But lately, since I turned 30, 31, I have been meeting some pretty good guys that are honest, and they tell me straight up exactly what they want. And I'm cool with it. And sometimes I be like, I don't like you no more. And sometimes I be like, okay, we're gonna work this out and see how far we can go with it. And, you know, as y'all can see, a lot of times it don't go far. But like I told my friend in DC, I said, someone told me some years ago, before I even had my son, before I ever, you know, went out of town, you know, that my husband may not be in Memphis, or my man, or however, may not be in Memphis. My soulmate, I guess. And there was one reason why, when, you know, my job was up in the air, and they were talking about shutting down the department that I used to be in. That's why I was putting in for jobs all over the United States. And that's how I ended up going to Philadelphia. My intentions were to stay a year, but I only stayed 2-3 months. And I came back out. But, you know, I dated like one guy, but I found out, you know, that he was in a very serious relationship. And after I had my son, his girl had a baby too. You know, I had already been back home by then. You know, cause I ain't get pregnant up there. I got pregnant back home, and his baby came after mine. So, but other than that, you know, me and him was cool though. We didn't do anything. We just, you know, talked on the phone and stuff. We hung out. You know. But I knew that he wasn't the one that I was looking for. I knew there was this other guy that I, you know, was talking to too, but I definitely knew he wasn't the one, because he was one of them bad guys. So I was like, well, this looks like the same crap I've been dealing with in Memphis, and the cost of living is too high up here. And I'm missing my folks, so I'm going to take my butt back home. And I know that's being very impatient, but, you know, I was just ready to go back home. And bam, I met my baby's father. And, you know, that's history. But, like I told my friend in DC, I said, well, maybe you the one I should have been looking for. Because I drove through DC and kept driving, because I was like, man, these people in here can't drive. Cause I had got so turned around, boy. I had to get off the interstate and go and park somewhere and look at my map, cause oh, it was just crazy. I was just discombobulated, and I was like, wouldn't it be something if he was in the parking lot of the bank that I was sitting at? You know what I'm saying? If he had walked by, would I have seen him? Would I have taken notice of him? You know, wouldn't that be, ironic or whatever? But anyway, my main thing today that I want to ask you guys is, what do you think about long distance relationships? And like I say, I don't think he will ever be, at this point, I don't think he's gonna be to step in and be the baby's father type of guy. So maybe I'm probably asking this question for no reason. Because it's not gonna happen. Because, I'm a package deal. If he want me, he want my son too. And I mean, not saying that he just, say he hate kids or nothing. Because, he likes to send me little videos and stuff to show Donovan. And then, he'll call sometimes when I'm in the car getting ready to take Donovan to school and stuff. And then he put on his Elmo voice and Donovan just be so excited and hollering and so it's not that he hates kids. It's just that, to me, he's like, say he's 56 years old, and he only has one son who is totally grown. And he hadn't really just been around no children, other than his granddaughter that he sees every so often. So to me, I don't think he know how to handle no kids. Because, he wasn't always with his son. He just saw him, periodically. So I don't think he know how to handle children. I don't think he has the right frame of mind to handle children. This is my opinion. So I wouldn't want to put that on him, and I definitely wouldn't want to have it to jeopardize my son in any kind of way. So, if anything, maybe we could, he could visit me or I could visit him or whatever, and see where it goes from there. I don't know. We'll see. And like I told him, I'm like, we might not even like each other in real life. So, I just want to see before I get attached to him. I just want to see. But, yeah. Other than that, I think that's all I want to talk about today. I'll see you good people later.